Thank you. Your breath smells like ass. Hello everybody, welcome to another G-Mineo update. My name is Seth, coming to you live from my house with my dog Rosie. She's gonna help me deliver the news today. If you enjoy this video, be sure to like the video. Do it for Rosie. She's watching you. Thank you for your help, co-anchor. Say bye. Say bye. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another G-Mineo weekly update. I am your host, Seth, and if you're new here to the channel, the G-Mineo weekly update is hosted by me, this guy. It is a segment here on the channel where we go over new releases in gaming, big headlines or things that have happened in the gaming world or in the film and television world as it sort of relates to gaming, and where we talk about a lot of different things. I also feature every week, do a setup spotlight where I sort of kind of scour the internet and find a setup, a gaming or streaming setup that I really enjoy and showcase it here on the channel, hopefully garner some followers for that person or what have you. So if you're interested in being featured, make sure to drop a comment down below. And let me know what your Instagram handles are and things like that so I can check out your setup and maybe get you in a feature. My hand is taped. I know it looks kind of janky. I cut my thumb open pretty good trying to disassemble a bed. So this is where we're at right now. We got a lot going on this week to talk about, guys. A lot of new releases, a lot of exciting things happening. So we're going to start with the big headlines and some of the most exciting ones. Leaked. You guys, the Spider-Man Away From Home trailer has been leaked. It's kind of all over. It's trending on Twitter. Now, I haven't seen it yet because from everything that I've heard, it's like a few seconds long, it's terrible quality, and it does have some spoilers for the movie. And personally, as much as I love like my news and my updates and kind of keeping up to date on everything that's happening, I want to wait.
I'm saving myself for marriage.
I want to wait for the full effect. Like I want to see that trailer with my headphones on or in a theater when I'm going to watch another movie and really get that's my phone, and really get the full experience of, viewing a trailer in its finished form. I don't know, let me know down in the comments below. If you could get your hands on it, if you could find it, would you watch it? Also, we have an amazing, really kind of wholesome Cinderella story that has happened this week in the gaming world, you guys. In a very cool turn of events, Stephanie, I'm gonna butcher this name, so Zachariadis, I think that's how you say it. I hope I'm saying it correctly. If not, I apologize. But Stephanie was one of the developers, the chief writer actually, or the head writer on the Fallout London full-scale mod that was being developed and worked on by this sort of independent team. And recently the mods came out, or the sort of, I guess, organization kind of behind the mod came out and announced that Stephanie was actually hired by Bethesda to do and design quests, which is really cool. It's like this person who's kind of, so passionate about gaming that they're doing this project and working so hard on a mod for an existing game, only to get noticed and hired by a major developer. I mean, it's just really cool. It's such a kind of a Cinderella rags to riches story. And apparently she is an incredible sort of creative. She made sure that the transition is going very smoothly. So for those of you Fallout fans who are anticipating this mod coming, do not worry. The transition has been handled very well and pretty flawlessly, and they said that they have plenty of time to find a new head writer who's just going to finish out sort of the dialogue and the story as it is already written and established by the team. So really cool story, very wholesome. Stephanie, we wish you all the best in your new career at Bethesda and hope to see some amazing titles and quests and adventures coming from you soon. And finally, you guys, this week in gaming, Vanguard. Call of Duty Vanguard's alpha is going to be released on August 27th for PlayStation players only, which is big bummer. But this comes on the tail of the official reveal that happened last Thursday, which was really cool. I watched it live. I was watching Courage JD along with Tim the Tatman and Nick Merckx and Cloaksy stream the event live. I tried to get in, but I got some weird fatal error from apparently an update. I don't know. Apparently it was a problem for a lot of people. I got it. Couldn't jump into the live event, but I watched it live. It was a really fun reveal, and apparently, as I said, the alpha. Oh, hi Slack. The alpha is going to be releasing later on this week, which is super cool. This is ahead of the beta, which will be available to everybody beginning in September, which is ahead, of course, of the full release of the game on November 5th. But that is very exciting, super cool. Call of Duty Vanguard, I'm just excited that there's finally gonna be a new map coming to Warzone. They've installed an anti-cheat to get rid of hackers, which is cool. And yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the changes that are coming to Warzone and Call of Duty in general. But that wraps it up for sort of the major headlines and brings us into new releases this week in gaming. First up, we have Aliens Fireteam Elite. Now, Aliens is set in the universe made famous or sort of exalted into mythos by the movie franchise of Ridley Scott and James Cameron fame. This is the third installment, or third, I guess, video game based in the Aliens universe, and is said to be a very fun cooperative or multiplayer sort of like action-packed third-person shooter where you're battling the xenomorphs over 4 campaign sort of arcs. The weapon system looks really cool, and I've heard some positive things about it so far, and a lot of people are enjoying it. So be sure to check that out. That is dropping today, August, whatever the hell today is. Time isn't real. Next up, we have Hoa releasing for Switch and PC on August 24th, which again is today. And this game looks awesome. It's beautiful. The title is actually Vietnamese for flower. Thank you, YouTube comments, for that. This game looks beautiful. It's a platform puzzler game, and one of the things that struck me immediately as I was watching sort of the trailers and the gameplay was the soundtrack. The soundtrack for this game is stunning. Full orchestra. I saw there was a, YouTube recommended me like a live recording of the orchestra, and holy cow, I mean, just the music alone in this game is incredible, and it's absolutely stunning. Be sure to check that out, August 24th for Switch and PC. Next up, we have I Expect You to Die 2, a new adventure in sort of the virtual reality space coming to PlayStation VR as well as Rift, Quest, and Vive on August 24th, also today. This is another installment, a follow-up to I Expect You to Die, the first one, which is a sort of escape the room playthrough in virtual reality. I love escape rooms, and so I'd have to give this one a shot. Next up, we have King's Bounty 2, releasing for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC, also on August 24th. This one is a turn-based sort of like action-adventure RPG / strategy game. It looks kind of interesting. It has you running around in the third person and developing a character, picking from one of 3 character classes, a paladin, a mage, and a warrior. And you run around in third person and, interact with people. But when it comes to the combat, you actually make use of like sort of strategy-based, turn-based combat, which is like, top-down view with like grids and things like that. Personally, this style of game doesn't really appeal to me. Then again, I mean, I've never really played anything like this, but for me, like, just the concept kind of turns me off, because if I'm gonna spend time like in a character and advancing them and leveling them and giving them new skills, I want to fight as them when it comes to combat in any game. So, but apparently it was popular enough of a game to get a second installment. There have been some improvements on the original version from what I've heard, and that is available on August 24th. Next up, we have Psychonauts 2 releasing on August 24th for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. And this second installment in the very unique franchise has you diving into villains' heads as a sort of psychedelic investigator, returning as the protagonist from the first installment of the game, Raz. So you can check that out on August 25th. Next up, we have Baldo, the Guardian Owls, which is looks like the aesthetic of this game is really interesting to me. It looks like a blend of like Hayao Miyazaki animation, like Howl's Moving Castle, blended with sort of the feel of like a Zelda game. Looks to be a fun adventure game available on Switch, iOS, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4, all on August 27th. And finally, August 27th, we have No More Heroes 3. Now, I am not familiar at all with this franchise, but looking at the trailer, it looks like a sort of like Gundam Wing hack and slash. You got a laser sword, and the animation style is very interesting to me. Not a game that I would be drawn to immediately off the bat, but hey, there's something for everybody out there, right? So you can check this one out beginning on August 27th. Again, third installment in this franchise, so must be doing something right. That wraps it up for all of the new releases that are coming out this week in gaming, you guys, and brings us on to film and television. The director of Dune has announced, or rather hinted at, the idea that Dune could potentially evolve into a trilogy. Now, Dune is an ambitious undertaking. It has baffled filmmakers for a very long time because of the scope and magnificence of the original story, and we're finally getting to see it brought to the big screen later on this year. Now, Denis Villeneuve, I think that's how you say his name, Denis Villeneuve, that guy, the director, we've already learned that it's supposed to be broken up into 2 parts. The second part has not been greenlit yet, as far as I'm aware, but it's interesting that he's kind of already talking about it becoming a trilogy, which, is a very ambitious undertaking. And I'm excited though, because I read Dune several years ago, absolutely loved the story. My dad read it when he was very young and had always recommended it to me. I finally got a hold of it. I finally was able to read it. The politics, the intrigue, the world itself is really fascinating. And I'm looking forward to it coming to the big screen, especially with the cast that they have brought up. Timothée Chalamet and Oscar Isaac and Zendaya and all these amazing talents. So interestingly, very interesting announcement that it could potentially turn into a trilogy. Who knows? I guess we'll find out, only time will tell. But let me know down in the comments below, what do you guys think? Have you read Dune? Are you excited for the movie? Let me know what's up. And you guys, the newest trailer for Marvel's Eternals dropped on the 19th. I watched it. It looks awesome. This is my first time like really getting a good look at all of the characters, getting a beat on kind of what the story itself is going to be. I'm not a big like comic books guy. I've always loved the films and I've read a few comics over the years, but not a big comic book nerd myself. But very excited about the Eternals, very excited about this particular sort of new take. And one of the things that I enjoyed most about the trailer is it looks like it's a very different tone. It looks maybe a little darker and grittier almost than the Marvel Avengers movies that, we've had over the last, 10 to 15 years. But very much looking forward to the new phase of Marvel, all the new cast of characters that we're going to get to see. I love some of the actors that are in the new movie and cannot wait for the films to drop. And finally, you guys, the live action Cowboy Bebop released its first still images like today of our first look at John Cho. If you're a fan of Cowboy Bebop, let me know down in the comments below. Are you guys excited for this adaptation? I mean, it's really fun to see all of this IP that is sort of from the realm of nerddom being brought to the big screen. I, for one, am absolutely in love with it, and I just love all of the content and all of the movies and films and television shows that are being brought out right now. And that wraps it up for all of the film and television updates, you guys, and brings us on to this week's Setup Spotlight. So when I've been looking for a setup for this week's Setup Spotlight, I've actually been looking for kind of a selfish reason because I'm moving very soon, and the setup that you see behind me is actually going to be in a different location, and I really want to go after a nice setup. I have like this wood desk here that I really like. I've got my dual monitors. I don't like this wall color, and I kind of wanted to make a setup that really incorporates like the color green, a lot of wood grains, some plants, and then probably like soft white LED lights all around. And so I was looking for something similar, and while I was looking, I came across this setup from Masters of Tech. I really like this setup. It's clean, ergonomical. I like the chair. It's kind of a neutral color, so it can fit in anything. But I especially like the way that he makes use of greenery and all the wood grain. And this is kind of something like I'm gonna go for in my personal setup at home here in the coming weeks. So Masters of Tech, congrats, man, you got an awesome setup. But that is it, you guys. That wraps it up for the G-Mineo weekly update. It was a pretty quick one today, but wanted to make sure to talk to you guys about those new releases, talk to you about the things that we're most excited about here at the channel, the things that we've been talking about in the office, and that is it. So thank you guys so much for your support. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like the video. We've got some great content that is coming for you, and we look forward to seeing you in future videos. So thank you guys so much, and as always, don't forget, game it till you make it. I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Bye-bye.